Hala Sultan Tekke or Umm Haram Mosque is a mosque built in 648 BC that sits on the western shore of Larnaca Salt Lake, about 6 kilometers from the western part of Larnaca. It was renovated before 1781 and its present form was completed in 1816. Recently restoration measures have been taken to bring it back to its original state, as it is the most popular area of worship for Muslims in Cyprus after Mecca, Medina in Saudi Arabia, and Aqsa in Jerusalem. Hala Sultan Tekke is both a mosque and a tekke complex. In Islam, a tekke is a special place of devotion and worship for dervishes of a particular Sufi order. In simpler terms, Hala Sultan Tekke is a monastery for Muslim scholars, imams, and other religious people. As such, the complex is a place of great religious teaching and education. Many people know this place as the Umm Haram Mosque. Umm Haram bint Milhan was one of the companions of Prophet Muhammad. More specifically, she was an aunt of the Prophet Muhammad. This makes her a very special historical figure for Muslims around the world. Umm Haram's tomb is located behind the mosque wall of the Qibla, in the direction of Mecca. In fact, Hala Sultan Tekke complex was built in phases. The work done by Sheikh Hassan is considered the first phase. The mosque, on the other hand, was built in the second phase. The plan was drawn up in 1816, in the classic Ottoman architectural style. The mosque was founded by Sayyid Mehmet Emin Effendi, the governor of Cyprus at that time. Construction of the mosque was completed in 1817. The third phase of construction, which took place in 1830, resulted in a beautiful fountain and several building creations. Observing the front, we can see a portico on the north side of the mosque. This is an addition that was added later, but does not really stand out from the overall layout. Upon stepping into the main entrance of Hala Sultan Tekke, visitors will find themselves in a charming open courtyard with a complex of tekke all around. The tekke is divided into two sides, north and south, reserved for women and men respectively. One of the most important parts is the tomb. The tomb is square in shape and covered by a dome. In the center is the gravestone of Umm Haram, and to the east of this tomb is an almost modern cemetery. In the Hala Sultan Tekke cemetery, next to the resting place of the famous Umm Haram, there is also a tomb of another historical figure. She is Queen of Jordan Hatis Adil Hussein Ali, Adila Khanum. She died in 1929, and is buried near the tomb of Umm Haram, as her husband was a direct 37th generation descendant of Muhammad. The history of the Umm Haram Mosque begins in 649 AD. Arab armies invaded vast areas of the Mediterranean Sea. The effort was intended to expand their growing empire. During this operation, the famous Arab governor of Syria, Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, launched the first naval operation against the Byzantines in Cyprus. The Syrian governor sent Umm Haram to accompany her husband, Ubadah bin al-Samit, a capable chieftain of the Ansar tribal confederation and a very important military commander in the Arab-Byzantine War, to Cyprus. Once there, they settled on the island and worked for the cultural expansion of the Arab Empire. At home, this influential woman was eager to settle in Cyprus. Between 648 and 650 AD, Arab forces launched a massive naval assault on Cyprus, with a fleet of nearly 1,700 ships. They achieved a decisive victory and drove the Byzantines from the island. Taking control of Cyprus also allowed them to continue their naval offensive further into the Mediterranean. Umm Haram landed with an army, and everything was set for her important work on the newly conquered island. Unfortunately, a series of unfortunate events brought her ambitions to a halt. According to legend, during a victory parade, Umm Haram had an accident. While riding a donkey as a mark of honor, she was suddenly surprised by a Genos raiding party. In the ensuing panic, it is said that Umm Haram fell off her donkey and broke her neck. She died on the spot. History does not record a Genos raiding party, but some sources suggest that Umm Haram did fall off her donkey and died on the spot. Either way, this famous woman was the victim of an unfortunate and terrible accident. According to history, she was buried in the exact spot where she fell. Some time later, a mosque was built around her grave. As a woman who was revered and had a close relationship with the Prophet Muhammad, her resting place soon became a pilgrimage destination.